Tim Pool can all the way off for calling my girl Drea, my queen Drea, not that there's anything wrong with being a but that's not what she is. And how dare you call her something in a defamatory way for having a OnlyFans account, you this mother.
12 seconds later.
Also subscribe to my OnlyFans. The link is in my bio.
Ho's mad, apparently. It looks like Tim Pool has angered the media's latest tool that they use to promote the dream, the OF dream. Now, I am unfamiliar with this particular actress. I didn't really watch The Sopranos. I didn't have HBO, couldn't afford it. But maybe one day I will. I don't know. But one of the actresses from that show, who is now 52 years old, I guess put her beehole on the internet and is mad that people might be calling her a hooker. Now, from what I understand, is this individual had some allegiances to the folks who didn't want to take the jab. In fact, no disrespect to this individual, but it looks like, they've got some good takes, bad takes, just like most of us. Now, I'll say this much. You want to join OF at 52 years old? I have way less of a problem with it than people who join when they're 18 years old. That said, it's an interesting career choice. And, anytime anybody makes even a little bit of money on this website, the entirety of mainstream media, in particular, conservative outlets, fake conservative outlets like the New York Post, the Daily Mail, and all these are like, wow, criticisms at struggling single moms. Well, I don't think he said anything about her being a struggling single mom. At 52, if you're a single mom, again, that's very different. Allegedly, she had joined the site amid financial struggles. Allegedly, she hasn't been able to get jobs in Hollywood because she refused to take the jab. Maybe Daily Wire can hire her, although they probably won't now. Look, if you want to put pictures on the internet and do this kind of thing, more power to you. I wish you didn't have to do that. I wish that you were in a different position in your life where you didn't have to debase yourself in this manner. I don't think that it's empowering. I think that it's a cope when women say that. But you know what? The real problem is the customer. I wish men would stop paying these women for this stuff. Consuming this type of content, I can rail against those that make it. That's one argument to be made. But ultimately, the sad fact is there are so many people willing to pay money for this content. It is a parasocial relationship in which women separate lonely men from their money. They don't like you. They don't want to be friends with you. They don't want to sleep with you. They just want your money. Okay. And it ruins men's realistic expectations of what women are like. It ruins men's expectations of what dating is like. It ruins men's expectations of what bedroom activities are like. All things in moderation. I'm not one of those, I'm not like an evangelical anti-prawn guy. But I will say that consumption of it is in general bad for many reasons. I would rather reach out, speak to the young men or the men in general who are paying for it and try to convince them to spend their money wisely elsewhere. Now, Sopranos star, again, I don't know, I didn't watch The Sopranos, is torn into conservative commentator Tim Pool. By the way, anytime these sites have an opportunity to shill for OnlyFans and then they can put a big busty picture in the thumbnail, not that I don't do that, they take it. Tim Pool is one of the most successful commentators in the U.S., boasting millions of followers across YouTube, Instagram, and X. It's okay, fine. The drama started when Pool responded to an article about Di Matteo's astronomical earnings on OF. Again, my issue with these articles are that they paint an unrealistic picture to young women. women are like, oh, wow, she did it, so can I. Well, you're not a TV star. You know what I mean? Thousands of men didn't fantasize about sleeping with you before you opened the account. Maybe women too. So anyway, the drama started. Posting on X, women deciding to be hookers instead of having real jobs is an arc I didn't expect feminism to take. Now, I would argue it doesn't necessarily make you a hooker because you are, in general, you're not sleeping with people for money. You know, I think I don't really want to split hairs on that. I think that it's interesting the amount of people that a simple comment like that would trigger. A furious DiMatteo fire back. I'm glad Timcast clarified that I'm a hooker and he's a see you next Tuesday. She added, keep saving America with your big influential platform by taking cheap shots at struggling single moms, tough guy. Super cool skater stuff, bro. I guess. I don't know. Poole kept the clash going, writing back, I don't see why it would be offensive to point out that selling this stuff on OF is hooking. What about pointing out that the women are quitting their jobs to do this work? What about pointing out that women are quitting their jobs to do this work is see you next Tuesday worthy? Y'all should be proud of the work you do. Now, to be fair, I never explicitly called you a hooker. Maybe because you just post selfies on OF or something. I wouldn't know what they post on OF. I've never been on that site. But to be fair, I'm implicitly calling you and women who use OF hookers. By the way, men too. I don't think that that's fair of Tim. I assume there are male stars on that website. I assume. I'm sure it's far less, it's far less, but I assume. The conservative firebrand to continue to stoke the feud by posting multiple polls to X, asking his 2 million followers if it's fair to call women who post suggestive photos on OF hookers. By the way, Tim probably sent her hundreds of subscribers. This is probably just a fake grift between both of them. I can guarantee you that this woman saw an increased number of followers after Tim Pool called her out. This is the way the whole stupid whatever podcast works, right? Everyone thinks, oh, these girls are so dumb, these dumb hoes, ha 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 ha. And then they go on that show. Why do you think they keep going on that show? It's because half of the viewers of that show who are both super chatting to call them hoes are also subscribing to their OnlyFans accounts. If they weren't, the women would stop going. And then you see from there, the married mom of two, Mateo, had to do Instagram to take Pool to task. Where? Whoa. Okay. Tim Fool. Not only did I not know that the great Tim Pool was an expert on feminism and hookers, I also didn't know he was part of the hypocrisy problem in America. He's another mean-spirited, this pink background, sorry. Holier than thou mouthpiece who didn't even bother to research his subject before firing off his disdain. Sounds exactly like the full-blown lefties he lambasts. They should hire him on CNN. You're right, Tim. America is on fire because of know-it-all a-holes like you focusing on the most unimportant social issues that divide us. Well, I think OnlyFans does divide us, to be honest with you. It's not in the top 5 issues I'm worried about right now, but it's up there. Give me an effing break. Why do you even care? Bet we have more in common than not, but hey, get your whatever bully slander on, exercise your freedom of speech while it's still legal. Bet this BS tweet brought you one step closer to saving America. And while I'm here, let me defend all the women who don't have the luxury to fit in your good girl box. Don't judge any effing person until you've lived their life and know where they came from. It's ignorant, irresponsible, and lazy. I worked my balls off my whole life and took care of many people with my earnings. And I chose of a divided cancel culture system and didn't work. And I guess who the new face of that is. Congrats, Tim. It's you. Also, some McSweeney person cared. This says, Tim Pool can F all the way off for dissing my girl Drea, my queen. I don't know why I don't get this filter thing. It's weird. I'm not going to watch that video. Look, allegedly, she had just $10 in her bank account when she started her OF account. Well, she also has a clothing line that she promotes. Saved my home of many years. It was very important to us. And beyond all that, has given me enough money to start up and finance ultra free. I don't know. This feels like a grift. This feels like a grift. And of course, you see, this individual put, a lot of people in the replies had their Mullins writing, I'm a single mom and the sole financial provider for my daughter. Every bill we have, I pay for. Could I make 100 times more if I decided to take my clothes off and start an OF? Absolutely. No designer handbag, home, or car is worth lowering my own values or putting a price tag. Again, look, I prefer to point out that the problem is not, yes, there is a problem in that these things are for sale, right? These pictures are for sale. I don't love it, right? That said, the problem is, the demand. All the fellas paying for this. I don't think necessarily, I'm going to, he says, I don't see why it would be offensive to point out that selling this on OF is hooking. I don't know if you're selling your pictures of your body. You're not selling hooking up. But he did say he is implicitly calling you and women who use it hookers. By the way, he should say men. I don't know. I just think men should focus on not supporting this. And then if men didn't pay for it, then this platform would go away. And that would be probably the most ideal scenario, at least in my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below, and we'll talk to you again real soon.